ดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Good morning everyone and welcome to Meditation for Peace here on the DMC channel at 4 to 5 a.m. Thailand time. Myself, Shannon Ponratsan and Mr. Narupon Santrakunsuri will bring you joy from the light of peace and wisdom of the Lord Buddha.
Today is the first Sunday of the month, a time for all Dhammakaya practitioners to gather at the temple or the Dhammakaya meditation center around the world to offer sustenance to the Buddha and to meditate.
No matter what time it may be in their countries, when the practitioners around the world sit down and practice Dhammakaya meditation together, they actually set up what is called the Dhammakaya time, the time when all minds come to stop at the center of the body, and that very moment they are set free of defilements.
Every first Sunday of the month, sustenance will be specially prepared and arranged in the most delicate manner for the Buddha. This function was first introduced by คุณยายมหารัตนะทองสุขสำแดงปั้น a leading disciple of หลวงพ่อวัดปากน้ำ the rediscoverer of Vichar Dhammakaya.
In Thai, we call the ceremony พิธีบูชาข้าวพระ which has been made a tradition for our temple since Kunyai Tongsuk's time. The offering of sustenance to the Lord Buddha may appear to one as a gesture of paying homage to the Buddha, which, of course, the Buddha image cannot eat food. But in a deeper sense, this ceremony is meant to be the practice that leads the practitioners' minds to the visualization of offering the food at the center of their own bodies.
Due to meditation proficiency of คุณยายทองสุข she was able to actually bring the sustenance to the Buddha in the Nirvana, and a myriad of the Buddha there has actually made an intake of the food.
We can say that Piti Bhuta Khao Pra signifies the practice of Dhammakaya meditation method and its fruits or capacity. When you are skillful enough, the picture of the sustenance will become crystal clear to you. At that moment, you will realize that you've gained some inner experience from the meditation practice, and your merit is multiplied by many folds.
It's important that we tell you all this so that you can practice with enthusiasm and earnest in order to receive utmost benefit. Now I think it's about time to meditation start. Shall we begin, Chana?
Before we begin, let me give our viewers a little tip. First, I want you to try to capture the image of the sustenance right in front of you before closing the eyes and follow Luang Pa's Tamashayo's voice until it ends. And don't forget to do this mental exercise with ease and relaxation. See you after a little while.
หลับตาของเราเบาๆคลอดลูกพอสบายๆคล้ายกับตอนที่เราใกล้จะหลับอย่าไปบีบเปลือกตาอย่ากดลูกในตานะจ๊ะแล้วก็ทำใจของเราให้เบิกบานให้แช่มชื่นให้สะอาดบริสุทธิ์ผ่องใสไร้กังวลในทุกสิ่งไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องอะไรก็ตามให้ปลดให้ปล่อยให้วางหลับสบายผ่อนคลายกล้ามเนื้อทุกส่วนของร่างกายเราตั้งแต่ศีรษะเลื่อยมาเลยใบหน้าศีรษะลำคอให้ผ่อนคลายบ่าไหล่แขนทั้งสองฝ่ามือถึงปลายนิ้วมือให้ผ่อนคลาย ร่างกายตั้งแต่ลำตัวสะโพกขาทั้งสองถึงปลายนิ้วเท้านะจ๊ะให้ผ่อนคลายให้หมดทั้งเนื้อทั้งตัวสำรวจตรวจตาให้ดีขยับเนื้อขยับตัวของเราให้ดีเนี่ยเลือดลมจะได้เดินได้สะดวกนะจ๊ะผ่อนคลายทุกจุดแล้วก็ทำใจของเรานะให้เบิกบานให้แจ่มชื่นให้สะอาดบริสุทธิ์ผ่องใสไร้กังวลในทุกสิ่งไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องอะไรก็ตามให้ปลดให้ปล่อยให้วางทำใจให้ว่างๆไม่ผูกพันกับคนสัตว์สิ่งของใดๆทั้งสิ้นต้องหยุดต้องนิ่งเพราะฉะนั้นตอนนี้เราก็นำใจเนี่ยกลับมาที่ศูนย์กลางกายฐานที่ 7ซึ่งมีจุดเริ่มต้นที่จะเข้าถึงพระรัตนตรัยในตัวเพราะฉะนั้นตอนนี้จึงอยู่ที่ว่าทำอย่างไรใจจึงจะหยุดจะนิ่งได้หยุดกับนิ่งอย่างนี้เนี่ยเราสามารถทำกันได้ทุกคนถ้าเราเป็นคนปกติธรรมดาสุขภาพร่างกายและจิตใจเราแข็งแรงสมบูรณ์ถ้ามีความเพียรแล้วก็ทำถูกหลักวิชาเราก็ต้องเข้าถึงกันอย่างแน่นอนไอ้ที่เข้าไม่ถึงเพราะว่าทำไม่จริงไม่ต่อเนื่องแล้วก็ไม่ได้ถูกหลักวิชาใจเนี่ยเราต้องฝึกบ่อยๆประคับประคองบ่อยๆให้อยู่ภายในตัวเราให้ไปคลอเคลียร์นัวเนียอยู่ที่กลางท้องที่ศูนย์กลางกายฐานที่ 7ลืมตาเดี๋ยวถ้าเรามีบริกรรมนิมิตเป็นที่ยึดที่เกาะของใจมันก็จะง่ายกว่าในการที่เราไม่ได้นึกนิมิตเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าในอริยบทอื่นแล้วก็ตรึกถึงดวงใสหยุดอยู่ในกลางดวงใสๆหรือตรึกถึงองค์พระแก้วใสๆหยุดอยู่ในกลางองค์พระแก้วใสๆถ้าเรามั่นใจว่าไม่ฟุ้งหรือเราพยายามนึกแล้วมันไม่ออกนึกแล้วปวดศีรษะมึนตึงก็วางใจนิ่งเฉยๆที่ศูนย์กลางกายฐานที่ 7แต่ก็ไม่ต้องกังวลฐานที่ 7มากเกินไปเอาว่าอยู่ในบริเวณกลางท้องแล้วก็ประคองใจด้วยบริกรรมภาวนาสัมมาอรหังสัมมาอรหังสัมมาอรหังเรื่อยไปเลยต้องตรึกไปเรื่อยๆเพราะเรายังเป็นผู้ฝึกหัดใหม่ใจมันยังไม่มั่นคงมันยังไม่ตั้งมั่นมันยังโลเลอยู่เดี๋ยวอยู่ภายในเดี๋ยวออกไปภายนอกแต่มักจะออกไปภายนอกมากกว่าเพราะว่าชีวิตประจำวันเราเนี่ยมีการนำมาหากินพบปะผู้คนชีวิตถูกหล่อหลอมด้วยสิ่งที่หยาบด้วยสิ่งภายนอกใจก็จะต้องถูกดึงออกไปสู่ภายนอก ดังนั้นเราก็ต้องหมั่นดึงกลับเข้ามาสู่ภายในฝึกกันไปบ่อยๆแม้ว่าเราจะมีความรู้สึกว่าเหมือนไม่ก้าวหน้าเหมือนกับว่าเราไม่ได้อะไรแต่ความจริงมันไม่ใช่อย่างนั้นทุกครั้งที่เราหลับตาแล้วก็เก็บใจไว้ในกลางกายสมาธิจะถูกสั่งสมกันไปทีละเล็กทีละน้อยอย่างที่เราไม่รู้สึกตัวเลยว่าเราเกิดความเจริญรุ่งเรืองเกี่ยวกับเรื่องสมาธิแล้วเมื่อเราลดน้ำต้นไม้ที่โคนต้นวันละขันวันละกระป๋องต้นไม้ก็เจริญเติบโตขึ้นทีละเล็กทีละน้อยเราแยกไม่ออกหรอกว่าวันหนึ่งเนี่ยมันโตขึ้นวันละกี่เซนแต่ถ้าหากเรายังทำอย่างนั้นต่อไปไม่ช้ามันก็จะมีดอกมีผลตอบแทนเราการหลับตาทำสมาธินี่ก็เช่นเดียวกันใจจะถูกฝึกให้หยุดนิ่งอยู่ภายในจะถูกยกให้สูงขึ้นจะถูกกรองถูกกลั่นให้ใสให้สะอาดให้บริสุทธิ์ขึ้นเราจะเริ่มนิ่งขึ้นแม้ว่าเริ่มต้นจะนิ่งสักนาทีหนึ่งนะมันก็เป็นรางวัลสำหรับการให้โอกาสกับตัวเราเองทำความเพียรอย่างถูกหลักวิชาเราก็ค่อยๆนิ่งๆแต่อย่าเผลอกดลูกในตาไปดูนะจ๊ะอย่าเผลอทำนิ่งๆนิ่งๆอย่างเดียวให้ใจได้สัมผัสกับความนิ่งในสมบูรณ์หยุดกันนิ่งน่าจะภาวนาสัมมาอรหังสัมมาอรหังเรื่อยไปหรือจะไม่ภาวนาก็แล้วแต่ใจเราสมัครเอานะจ๊ะสมัครใจอย่างไรก็เอาอย่างนั้นเราลองทำกันดูผ่อนคลายใจนิ่งนุ่มเบาๆสบายฝึกกันไปนะจ๊ะ
Welcome back. How was your meditation experience, Hina?
I found it very peaceful, and also I felt the energy inside of me and around me.
Well, if you feel better after the practice, you will have the determination to continue the practice. And it is not uncommon to observe the feel of energy when we meditate in a large group. That is the reason Luang Pa built such a large temple to facilitate a collective meditation so that the produced energy can embrace and transform our society.
Yes. Imagine 1 million people who do not have wrong perceptions, anger or jealousy, but who have love, understanding and happiness. If these people come together and form a community, it will be paradise.
Yes. Coming to talk about the power of meditation and miracle, I think it's time that we turn our attention to the interview episode. We hope you find it beneficial and interesting.
Yes, we will see you after this.
สวัสดีค่ะ Today we have Mr. Itai Boeing from Germany to share with you the experience during his meditation retreat. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Could you please tell us about your background?
I used to be a teacher for German and history in a high school in Berlin, Germany. I'm 62 years old, and this is the third time that I visit your country, Thailand. And it is the first time that I encounter meditation.
How did you find out about the meditation retreat program?
There is a small booklet and a map of Chiang Mai by Nancy Chandler, and there is a list of meditation places where you can learn meditation. And I went to several places, and when I found this place, or the office of Middleway Foundation, this talked to me the most, and I said to myself, yeah, I will join this program.
Okay. And what is the reason that you decide to join this particular program?
The advantage to me of this program, or as I talked to the secretary in your office, was that I can join meditation as the person that I am. That means I can come as a Jew, as an observant Jew, and I'm not in conflict with my religion. I can participate in this meditation program without giving up anything of my own background, of my own outlook, of my own convictions.
Okay, and you confirm that this kind of meditation will not affect of who you are as a Jewish.
Right, and after several days in this place, as you may see, I walk with this kippah, which I cannot do all the time in public in Germany. I can do that without any problems, and I feel very comfortable with everybody, the participants and the staff of the program.
And this is your first time of meditation?
Yeah, I must say I thought I am doing meditation when I thought always when I do this long distance running like marathon and so forth, that this is a sort of meditation in motion. I think of myself, I think of problems I've got, and I don't have telephone, don't have radio, don't have television and so forth, but it is not meditation. Here I would say it is for the first time that I really know what is meditation. I want to add the reason why I came to Chiang Mai or to Thailand was I wanted to learn Thai massage, traditional Thai massage. And in these lessons we have had, there were always 5 minutes in the beginning of every day of meditation. And actually, I must say I didn't know what to do. I was sitting as everybody was sitting, but actually what is meditation all about, I had no idea. But I wanted to know that, I wanted to learn it, and I'm happy, I feel privileged to be at this place to learn it.
This is a benefit of coming to Thailand to learn the massage here, and now you all have the meditation too.
Yeah, I think I didn't expect it when I came. You know, I didn't have a program except for this massage program. But this was a decision when I was here, and I signed up for this program, and I'm so happy that I made this decision, and very thankful to everybody who is teaching and helping me go this way.
I'm glad you are. Now, can you tell us about your experience doing your meditation?
Yeah, I must admit that the first problems, and these problems are still bothering me, are the pain while sitting in the strict meditation position. But I didn't want to do it the easier way. I didn't want to sit on the chair. I wanted to do it the right way, as I consider it. And I'm sure, and I already experienced it, that the pain that is bothering my legs, my knees, are already coming down, are already diminishing. And I'm sure there will always be pain. And I felt consolation hearing from Thai people that they have the same or similar problems, even though they are more used to this position, sitting cross-legged. But I'm sure I will improve my things. But I want to say, you know, this is a way of learning. I don't know where it leads me. I don't know what I may expect, but I'm sure it will change myself in a positive way. That's I'm sure about.
Okay. As you mentioned about the pain, you're the first one to experience that, right? And the pain is getting better now for you, not so much anymore. Okay. And what techniques do you use during the meditation?
Yeah, you know, I was at a place where they said we are doing meditation, and they said concentrate, focus on your breathing, inhaling, exhaling. And I talked to the monk, and he said if you do that, so you will always be distracted from your own center. And now I learned here, and this is a different method, or a new method I learned, is to follow the 7 centers, 7 bases of mind. And I try to do that, and that's the way I can reach the center, the gravity center of my body, and try to connect it with my mind, try not to be distracted by thoughts or emotions, but just to get my mind to a standstill, and then I ignore the pain and I'm just concentrated on my center. And I would say the maximum we have had meditation so far were about, let's say, 50 minutes. And I would say I'm a modest person, maybe 2 minutes I reached this goal. And I think this is already a great step forward. And I'm a beginner. Though.
And you said, reach your goal. Could you explain about a bit about your goal that you just mentioned?
The goal that I connect with meditation, I think meditation will lead me to my own center, to myself, and being content with myself, self-centered, not egoistic, that's not what I mean, but if I am content with myself, that is, I think, a sort of happiness. And that will help to avoid negative thinking and negative thoughts, negative desires and everything. And that's, I think, a very good thing.
Yeah, and you think it's easy for you to just follow the 7 base techniques for meditation?
Excuse me, easy is not the right term, but it is a helpful way, not yet easy. You know?
Okay. And do you think that meditation can help you in your daily life?
Yeah, as I said, I think practicing meditation regularly will help to focus on myself and not to be distracted by all kinds of influences from the outside or all kinds of as I say, negative feelings, give me more self-consciousness, more self-security, and like resting in myself. And I think that's what I could give as an advice to everybody. And I think everybody will be more content with himself and radiate also good emotions, good feelings, and positive feelings to the outside.
Okay. What is your objective in life?
My objective in life, that's a good question. I think in Jewish tradition there is a saying, in Hebrew it is tikkun olam, and means this world is not being created perfectly. There are all kinds, and you see that, everyone can see that, there are all kinds of lacks and not perfect situations. And I think our task as human beings, or at least I take it as my task, to try to help to improve the world, to repair the world. This is the direct translation of that term, tikkun olam, and that's what I try to help.
It's like what you're saying is like you're saying that meditation can help bring the peace and happiness to people.
Yeah, as I said, I think if people are more at peace with themselves, then they radiate this peace, and that spreads over to other people too, and they get influenced by it, and this is at least one condition or one help to promote peace and happiness in the world. Mm-hmm. You know, it sounds ideal, but I think there is something in it.
What principles help to guide you through your life?
There are several things I want to mention. One is that when I became a teacher, my motivation was not so much for German language, not so much that the pupils learn to speak, write, correct German. That's important too, but my main objective was that they will have in Germany a better character than their parents and grandparents. That means that they will not become racists or anti-Semites, and that's why I became a teacher. And I don't want to hide who I am. That means I want to show I'm Jewish. And whenever I see or experience something unjust, I want to speak up and not to stay silent. This may be an answer to your question.
Okay. So if you just go back to your old career, like as a teacher, you think that you would like to introduce meditation to your student?
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I just did it for myself now, but yeah, I think it is a good way to, or an excellent way to calm pupils down or to lead them to themselves. They have to look or to find a way to their own center. Yeah?
I think they will be happy like you.
I'm convinced, yeah.
Many people have mentioned that meditation is international practice, not restricted to one religion. What do you think about that? Do you agree with that terms?
I just experienced that. You know, we are taught by Buddhist monks and introduced to meditation as a part of, let's say, Buddhist or Thai culture, and I feel so privileged to have the opportunity to learn it, and I have never, not even a bit of got the feeling that someone is, I just know the word, to go to evangelize or to try to convert me to Buddhism. I can stay as I am and practice my religion as good as I can here. Here's no synagogue, but I can pray and I can do and observe Shabbat as I used to, and I think this is a wonderful thing. And I'm so thankful to the people that I feel comfortable to go with this kippah here all over the place.
Okay. And let's talk about the location. How do you like the retreat center and its location here?
It's so wonderful to be at this place in the midst of the wood and to do this meditation underneath a big tree, and the weather is wonderful. The people are just, as old Thai, smiling and I think I change, you know. I change. I came, or I will go home or go back from here different from who I was when I came.
Each of us has the capacity to bring joy to others and to help relieve them of the sufferings if we know how to cultivate the seeds of awakening within ourselves. Like the Dhammakaya is available if we know how to touch it. Sakyamuni, the historical Buddha, is a beam of light sent to the world by the son of Dhammakaya to help relieve the sufferings of the living beings. He was a real human being, and the Dhammakaya was embodied by his presence.
Yes. The living Buddha is still available to us as an embodiment, as a ray of the sun of the Dhammakaya. If that ray is not apparent to you yet, don't worry. There are many other rays or transformation bodies expounding the Dhamma. Venerable Sander Kematamo is one of which that can help you be in touch with the Buddha through his Dhamma lecture.
Today, he will continue his talk on the context of the right view and the Noble Eightfold Path, so don't go away.
But any person whose mother has died will wear a white rose. So we can imagine that Mother's Day in Japan, everyone walking around with these roses. And if your rose is still there, you know, and it's still red, you're happy that your mother is still alive. You see many white roses, but your one's still red. This is a very beautiful custom of the Japanese. We have to realize that we're born in this world, we have not been born as isolated individuals, but we are indebted to others, and most importantly to our parents. And this is related. Why did the Buddha talk about this when he just talked all the time about karma and then suddenly talk about this? Because it's about cause and effect as well. If we know what people have done to us, we understand. That means we understand cause and effect. And some people say that my parents did not intend to really be kind to me. They just wanted someone to, they just wanted to have someone around. Just wanted to have someone to continue their heritage or something, be an heir or something, or help with the business or something. They may have been egotistic in their choice to have me born. But this is not relevant. The fact is that we have received this human life. We received the education of our parents. As I mentioned in the last episode, we've received so many things. So the intention is not the main point. We have gained so many things by listening. We may have gained many things by listening to the Dhamma. But does the Dhamma have an intention? It doesn't. Dhamma is just there for us to learn from. So, in the same way, our parents, what their intention was is not important. And we might be very much mistaken about their intention, in fact. They might have very good intentions. But the main point is that we are indebted to them. We owe to them. And they have done so much efforts to take care of us. Because most parents, most people in the world, when they steal, when they kill, they often do so for their children. Most people in the world, they suffer a lot just to have their children, the children be happy. So we have this in common. This is something of all human beings. Lastly, we then come to talk about what is actually this other world about. Because the next thing that the Buddha taught is actually not the last item, but almost the last. The 9th item. He said, spontaneous rebirth exists. And that's kind of, what is that? You know, when we hear about this, we might be confused. So there is something that is not spontaneous rebirth, or what is it? What should we understand it? Does that mean you just suddenly disappear from this world and are spontaneously reborn or something like that? What is that? In the Buddhist text, there is a difference that is made between 4 types of birth, or 4 modes of birth. One of them is that for living beings that are born from an egg, and the other one born from a womb, or mammals, human beings. Third one born from moist, and the fourth one born spontaneously. The fourth one, of course, is difficult to understand because it's not talked about in biology. It's not talked about in science. And this is the sort of beings that we cannot see with the naked eye, normally speaking. And it's really those things that we often talk about when we talk about ghosts and spirits. In other words, there are certain beings in this world that we cannot see, and these beings have once been human as well. They live both in this world and in other worlds. What the Buddha is saying here is that there are actually a lot of other worlds apart from this human world, which may be quite an insight that's difficult to accept for many. However, if we think about it, many bacteria might be living within a worm without knowing that they're living in a worm. That worm might be living in the intestines of an animal without knowing that it's living in the intestines of an animal. Why? Because that worm is maybe had its parents, was born there in those intestines and never knew anything about the world around it. So it doesn't know that its mother actually went inside the intestines of this animal. Even the mother might not have known very well. So it's just there, it's just born there, and it thinks, this is my world. Similarly, for the bacteria, they just think that this is, if they can think, they have no awareness that there is anything apart from the worm. So there are bacteria living in worms living in animals. And so there are many worlds that are nested. We are living in this human world, but what do we really know about the possibility of other worlds? And then the Buddha said very clearly that these beings exist, that you can find out by yourself by developing wisdom and penetrating the truth by meditation. These living beings exist. There are certain living beings that are reborn. People like us, reborn from this world. If we go back to the last point that the other world exists, or the afterlife exists, we are then reborn in a world according to the state of mind. And these worlds are not maybe it's possible that we are reborn as a human being, as in the case of James, as I told you about him. But it is also possible that we are not born as a human, but born as something else, or someone else. Born as either one of these four modes of origin or four modes of being. We might be born as an animal, might be born as a human, might be born from an egg, might be born many ways. The other worlds, there are worlds out there where we are born and our body is subtle. And the body just arises, as soon as we are born, we are instantly grown up. We don't have to go through any childhood. We don't need to have any parents. And as soon as we have grown up, everything, all our living conditions arise because of karma. So everything that happens to us at the moment is because of karma, at the moment that we are born. Some beings are born with a certain appearance and a certain body because of karma, the karma that they've done. People that have done many good karma will be born with a good appearance. People who have done many bad karma will be born with a bad appearance. There are happy destinations and unhappy destinations. Happy destinations, there is the human world, which we consider a happy destination in Buddhism. There is, apart from the human world, there is what we call the Teva world, or what is sometimes called heavens. Teva worlds are beings that may look in many ways similar to human beings, but the body is subtle. There are many things in their life that are different. They don't need to eat food in the way we do. And their lives in many ways different. These modes of being exist. And on the other hand, there is an even higher plane of beings that we call Brahma, which are beings that the people who are reborn there is because of the great attainment in meditation at the moment they die. Then they are reborn as Brahmas. On the other hand, there are the unhappy destinations, where people are reborn and receive and go to this unhappy place because of the state of mind when they pass away, and because of the karma that they have done. And then there are several of these. One of them is just the animals we see around us. It may be hard to believe, but all animals have been human once before. And that's why in Buddhism we do not destroy the life of animals. Do not kill animals. All of them has once been human before. And there is some beings which we call betas. Betas is living beings that are living in very miserable conditions. They have hardly any food. Their suffering comes from their the way they are reborn, the way their body is very uncomfortable. But there is another plane and there is a similar being which is called Asura Kaya, similar to Petas. But often they have some animal-like body. And then the worst to be reborn in what we call Naraka, or the hells. The hells are places where we are not only tormented by where people are not only tormented by their own body, but they're tormented by actual beings. There are certain guardians of hell that actually torment them. These things might be hard to believe. But it's certain that human mind is capable of many things. It can, by its own actions, a human being can develop his mind to greatest purity and the lowest impurity. Because human beings, without having to look at their mind, can do the great things for mankind just in one life, or can completely destroy mankind just in one life. We have examples of that enough to see. There have been many great people who have lived and provided great benefit for mankind. But there have also been many human beings, many people that have provided great suffering for mankind. So it's possible in one single life to do so many things that are harmful and do so many things that are helpful for oneself and other people. This energy of all these actions that we have done cannot manifest itself only in this life of a human being. It must find its way. And that is why at the moment when we are reborn, we can find ourselves in these places where great suffering comes to us, or great happiness. But all of this, of course, is still happiness. It doesn't compare with the happiness of the still mind. But it's still a lot more comfortable than being born in a place of suffering. And that is why, even though in Buddhism the goal is to purify the mind and come to an end of suffering and attain nirvana or nibbana, in the process of doing so, we consider it a positive thing to be born in a happy destination, like to be born especially as a Teva. So we have the opportunity, so we do not have to suffer, and we can do good things as a Deva. Even though we cannot do much as we could as when we are human beings, we can do so many things. And it's actually the life of a Deva is not so much, doesn't have much opportunity to do good. It's just a life of, like you're going on vacation, going to a holiday, but it's a positive thing. It's a lot better than being born in a place of suffering, and we don't know how long it will take. These happy and unhappy destinations are different from the human world in many ways, as I mentioned. We are instantly reborn there, and we have, except for the human life and the animal life, of course, we have no parents. Generally speaking, we have no parents. We are instantly grown up and mature. And lifestyle is different. We do not have to earn a salary, but we experience happiness or suffering depending on the deeds that we did in our previous existences. Most importantly, the lifespan is a lot longer than the human life, because of this great power of the actions that we have done cannot manifest itself in a single lifetime of a human lifetime. It tends to manifest itself easily in very long lifetimes. Because of the deeds that people do, people are reborn in either a positive and happy destination or unhappy destination. And that is because of the deeds they have done, because of the purity of the mind. And these destinations, the lifespan of these destinations is very long. Very long. Finally, we are left with a final conclusion, with a final item, that is that the enlightenment of the Buddha exists. Enlightenment is something real that all people can attain. And the belief that the Buddha really lived and has taught and attained these things he taught. Attained it through seeing things and by direct knowledge, penetrating the truth by insight. Disbelief is the final part, the final item of right view. All of these things are things, many of these things, especially the last 6 items that I talked about, we cannot see with the eye, but we can reflect. When we reflect, we can practice to see and try these notions out, try these things out. And what one person called the suspension of disbelief. We do not say we believe it yet, but okay, we put away with our disbelief first. Because both belief and both disbelief might have no reasons. We have no reasons to disbelieve anything that we have not seen yet. And we have no reasons to believe it. But we might try it out to see whether our life will be better when we try these things out, when we consider these things. The law of karma, rebirth, the possibility of other existences, of happy and unhappy destinations. We can try this out and live according to them, and our lives will be changed. We will have encouragement to do good and to avoid all that's destructive. From now on, whenever you meet someone, you'd like to give to that person rather than take. You like to smile to that person rather than to hurt him or her. This is the life of a person with the conviction and a faith in what is called right view. A faith that is born from wisdom, goes hand in hand with wisdom, not the faith that comes only from tradition or from a blind belief. So faith and wisdom go hand in hand in the Buddhism, and they always have. Right view is the thing, is the pre-runner of all spiritual efforts, of the entire spiritual and moral path that we call the Eightfold Path. When a person has right view, it can be certain that that person is very unlikely to do anything wrong in his life, and is very likely to do good. So right view is that important for us. So it's important for us to study about it, and we can learn and grow wiser because of this. So I'd like to conclude with just this for today. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. I hope you allow yourselves to be struck by the beam of light emanated by the Buddha and to be transformed.
When we know how to discover the seed of enlightenment within ourselves, we realize our capacity to transform many others as well. The Buddha depends on us to live mindfully, to enjoy the practice, and to transform ourselves so we can share the body of the Dhamma with many other living beings.
Yes, and in the last part of our show, we would like to present you some of the videos that demonstrate the practice of generosity, discipline, and mindfulness, which we think will inspire you.
Yes, all this happened due to the determination of Paraja Pavana Visuddha, หลวงพ่อธรรมชโย to see the world become at peace through practice of Buddha's teaching and Dhammakaya meditation.
These days, people around the world seek answers to life. Where can they find true happiness? These men, young and old, who have traveled far, are earnestly focusing on the practice of meditation and training themselves through Buddhist culture, because they share in the same belief that the answers to life in which they seek can be found within the monkhood. The outcome of their efforts have enabled them to take part in the most important event, the ordination ceremony, together with other Thai ordinants from all over Thailand.
And I remember, first of all, looking in front of me, just seeing all of the Thai ordinants waiting patiently. I was waiting patiently as well. But then I looked to my side, my right, and to my left, and there was even more. Then I looked behind me, and there was even more. And I began to have a sense that this was truly a history-breaking event, a very special event that hasn't happened before in the world.
这个衣服使我感觉自己好像改变了，自己有任务在身，自己也是三宝之一了，所以会积极的修行，会积极的弘法。
Que j'ai eu l'ordination de moine, j'étais très fier, puis c'était mon souhait depuis mon enfance. J'étais très fier quand j'ai eu l'habit de moine. Je remercie beaucoup tous les maîtres qui m'ont assisté pour cette cérémonie.
Simplicity is the foundation of a Buddhist monastic life. Monks require only basic necessities, not luxuries. They've come to realize other forms of entertainment cannot bring true happiness and peace to their lives. This was also the first time in their lives to do the Tudonga austerity walking, which certainly leaves a deep impression because it is a journey allowing them to experience the heart of monastic values.
It gave me the right mindfulness. I came in a meditation state, like to say. I came back to the center of my body, and when we walked slowly, all the pain was gone.
途中有很多信徒在给我们供养，让我们感到非常的法喜。然后，这次的头陀行除了可以锻炼我们个人的意志之外，也可以体验到出家人的那种修行的生活，让我感到非常印象非常的深刻，非常的难忘。然后希望能有机会再参加下一次的头陀行。谢谢。
Really nice and amazing experience. It was like a meditation, kind of a different art of meditation, walking with all the monks through the forest, especially being once with nature. That was
I could see that it was important for them to see the monks. I think unusual to see the international monks coming through the village, and it made me feel good.
And when we came to the temple and they threw flowers on our feet, it was so impressive. Yeah.
With a sense of calm, serenity, and grace to those donning the saffron robes. All international Buddhist monks have discovered the path within their minds. That is, the middle way, a path they can experience themselves.
I bring down my mind to the center of the body. When I get my mind still, very still, suddenly a crystal appeared. And with the crystal, suddenly the Buddha image appeared, which I haven't seen in my life. A sudden Buddha image smiling at me, and I was just focusing on the Buddha image. It made me more still. My body got very light. My body got like disappeared, like I was in air. It was a very terrific experience in my life.
The technique I used to use, I try to not think anything, to straighten my back and comfortable position. When I got calm, my mind, I imagine Buddha inside my body. In a while, when my mind got still, then a whole despair, like a circle, and then I just looked at it, and then it feels like I got dragged down and falling, free fall.
Although they are of different races, speaking different languages, they come together today to prove that even a short period of monastic life can lead them to the answers to their lives. All participants have already discovered that the path to true happiness starts from the center of the body. They've learned how to live a simple and peaceful life. Monastic life is their answer, and it is something humankind have been searching for.